I've heard like something about a little beef between them. I thought he had just said something in the interview or whatever, and it was whatever. I don't really dig into people's beefs.
No,
You
it,
know?
it goes a bit deeper than that. Basically, I'll kind of give you the Cole's notes. Basically, Patty said that Ariel had asked him for an interview while Patty was getting paid opportunities and making it out like Ariel was like, you owe me an interview. But that wasn't the case. Ariel had a voicemail which showed that Patty had actually reached out to him for an interview. And then partway through, his manager and him decided that he was going to start charging for interviews. And Ariel's like, no, I don't pay for interviews. You don't do that in the industry. And I'm Ariel Helwani. Like, it shouldn't be like this. There should be some respect there.
Oh, is that why people keep asking if Ariel paid me for that interview?
Right, exactly. Yeah. Because Patty now is charging for interviews. I think he had some UFC obligated stuff, which obviously was for free, but he was kind of trying to do this thing where he's starting to charge people for interviews. What do you think of that?
Hey look, James. What you?
I know. Listen,
what's your budget like, pal?
Yeah. But let me ask you. But here's why you can't do that though. And here's the thing. And I understand. Like, you're taking time today. You have a million things to do. You're getting ready for a title fight. I understand that. My issue is if you start paying for interviews, and this is sort of the rule in journalism, there's a bias there, right? Because then there's money involved. That's where things get a little bit murkier, right? And I get people understanding that Patty's a popular commodity, but if you start charging people for interviews, then whenever there's money involved, it's just no different than like if the UFC was like, here, we're going to give you money to go cover our event. You can't really do that either, right? There's a conflict of interest there, I guess. You see that side of it? That's how the media works, though. Okay, for example, like Tom Brady's not going to start telling, a Fox reporter, hey, you got to pay me to do this interview. It just doesn't happen like that. It's not like that in other sports.
I know it's not like that, but what if they did? What if the team was like, hey, if you reporters want to get in here, and for me, y'all got to pay and started charging the media.
But you don't see the conflict of interest there?
You said what?
You don't see the conflict of interest there. Like, if someone's paying for media access, then there's a conflict of interest because there's money involved. Like, well, okay, here's an example.
What's the conflict of interest? What, they gonna just say some bullshit now? They do that anyway.
Well, no, but let's say Fox asked Tom Brady like a personal question or something, and Tom's like, I'm not answering that. And it's like, well, we paid you. Do you see what I mean? Like, then there's an issue there. That's the issue.
Okay.
It's an element of control or
How
whatever.
much is it for you at that point? Then you got to look at your investments.
That's what I'm saying. So but to me, it just creates a very gray area if you start doing stuff like that. Listen, people can criticize Ariel for things. The paying for interviews, I'm with them on that side.
I can't exactly be mad or be against, say he's wrong for that. Honestly, I can't.
But do you not also think it's interesting where the guy sitting next to, so he did this on a podcast. Who was next to him on the podcast? Dana White. And I know you're obviously you're getting this title shot. We're going to be careful what we say here, but don't you think as well that he wouldn't be asking for this money if he was getting paid well? That's why I don't think athletes are doing it in other sports, because they are getting paid well.
He getting paid what he getting paid. You go through contracts in the UFC.
I know, but do you not think if he was making $30 million, do you think he's asking Ariel for money? Probably not. And that's not on him. That's, so that's where there's a difference.
Probably not doing the interviews at that point, because then you got $30 million. You probably got some serious reach.
Tom Brady's still doing pressers and interviews. He's getting paid lots. Maybe not 30 million. I don't know how much he's getting paid, but it's a lot, obviously.
By the team.
Yeah, but that's just how it works. That's how the media works. You got to do,
but Tom Brady's still doing it, and all I'm saying is he's getting paid for it.
But you're right, because the team's paying him. In this case, it's the league who pays the fighter, right? You don't have teams. I mean, you have your gyms, but it's not the same thing.
The media
yeah. Okay, we could go over this all day, honestly. But I like your perspective, because I do find it interesting. But I went to school and I know the rules, and that's just how it's always been. You don't pay for media access. It's just like Rule 101. That's one of the biggest things. Same reason why I don't take photos with fighters, because you don't want to come across biased.
But here's the thing, though, right? You saying you don't pay for media. That's bullshit. Because how much did Jay-Z and Beyonce get paid for the
That's
picture?
not sports, though. That's not sport. It's different, though. It's different.
It's media.
It's not. It's no different than okay.
Media.
Yes.
Why would you pay for media? Why would you pay for pictures of this baby? That creates a bias.
But that's tabloid media. It's not the same as sports media. It's different. It's no different than news media. Same thing. You don't see people. It's different. It is different. If we had more time, I would get more into it. But trust me, it is different.